Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Alumpreneurs, a series by Student Alumni Relations Society, MIT WPU University, Pune, to connect with the alumni entrepreneurs across the globe and record their journey as a resource for current students at the university to learn and grow in their college life. Today, we are incredibly honored to have with us our distinguished alumni, Mrs. Ankita JP Shroff. She is an MIT WPU alumni of batch 2010 who, after pursuing her bachelor's degree in computer science from MIT, went on to study masters in management at Imperial College of London. And also she was a fellow at Swedish Institute of Management program. She started her journey as a founder at SAV Chemicals Private Limited and exited with a 17x return. She is now a successful entrepreneur, leader, and advocate for a sustainable future. She is now the founder of Sustain and Save Private Limited, associate director at Shof Group, and a vice chair of India at Global Dignity. We are really honored to have you here. Welcome, Ankita ma'am.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so we'll start with our questions. We are really thrilled to have you here today, ma'am. So to kick things off, let's take a trip down the memory lane. Can you share some of your most cherished experiences from your time at MIT WPU University?
Right. I think I graduated in 2010, and I yet remember when I got the best all-rounder, pass out for 2010 was one of the most cherished memory for me. I think there were a lot of memories right from let it be Summit, which is a sports event in MIT, or right from being representing my college at different forums. So I think MIT has been too many memories to share here, but one of them was actually getting that award for being the best all.
That is really great to hear about, ma'am. So, while you were studying at MIT, what inspired you to pursue a leadership role in an industry which was predominantly dominated by the existing businesses around you? And how your college life helped you to make this personality or structure your personality in a way where you could lead with a role?
So, I'll tell you honestly, I would say MIT was the foundation of me becoming a leader. So, I was a little introvert, a geeky girl. But what MIT gave us an exposure to so many events, to organize them, interact with so many people, learn from them, take up, leadership, take up responsibility, and most effectively manage multiple things at a specific time. So let it be, I was a part of Firodia Karandak, which is a cultural fest. I was a part of a summit where I had to organize different sports circus. I was the Gymkhana secretary and the cultural secretary for 2 years. So these, taking up these posts gave me an exposure to actually manage people, which is one of the most important thing in any organization, and take up leadership to lead so many people with you. So as I clearly said, it's a foundation stone for me to take up leadership posts at college level. And then once you can get that confidence, I think it makes you much better out in your professional life.
Truly, ma'am. So, as we were talking about the events, the very first event which students get an experience is their induction program when they enter the university. So, we remember back in 2015 when you were invited as a speaker at MIT WPU engineering batch in induction program. How did you actually feel to be on the stage and guide students from your alma mater?
Honestly, I was extremely overwhelmed. I was just 25 years old. And when I entered in that huge auditorium of at least 1,000 students, I was scared. That was the first time I was giving a speech without a page, right? Otherwise, reading has been so easy. But when giving an induction was so difficult, so it was overwhelming, a learning point, because that was the day I gave my first speech without a paper. And, it's over time that has given me that confidence that you don't need a piece of paper to read something. And the confidence to speak in such big audience is interesting. So induction time was honestly one of my most memorable ways where I gave a leadership speech to so many students. And it was really nice to go back to school to represent your own college and be a part of it.
Obviously, ma'am, and I hope that a lot of students who were present during that time for your speech must have got inspired from your journey and have pursued something in their life ahead. So, while you were studying at MIT, did you participate in any kind of internships or research projects during your time at MIT? And if so, how did these experiences shape your professional development?
Yes. So my first work experience was in my third year of engineering, which was when I did my internship at PARI, which was Precision Automation Robotics India.
Okay.
And I had the most fun experience because we created a robot to solve a Rubik's Cube. So when we were working at Pari, we were given a problem statement where the current robot was solving the cube in exactly 20 minutes, which is a very slow process. So we worked on microcomputers, microprocessors. We automated that speed of the robot and made it work in exactly 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So it was such an amazing experience where we went on, as a very corporate life experience to work and solve a real time problem. So it was one of the, stepping stone to a professional life.
That is really interesting to hear about. So while your time at MIT and while you were going through all of these internships and projects, were there any specific professors or mentors from MIT who had a significant impact during your academic journey?
Right. So the HOD was Madhura Kulkarni, madam. I think being a computer engineer student, she was extremely the push they gave us to pursue, work as well as, do extracurricular and study was extremely important. And also Dr. Sheetal Vish ma'am. I think she is yet a part of the college, and her, I yet remember, she was one of those fun teachers where you can open up and yet, learn so many things from her. So these were the two professors who really, helped me in my times in college.
That is really great, and I hope that in future also you must be inspiring a lot of people, a lot of students from your college to grow, and then someday they'll mention about you the same in another interview. So your background is really very fascinating. So you started with your bachelor's in computer science, then you transitioned into master's in management, and following that you had experience at consulting at Rolls-Royce and then lead SAV Chemicals. So this is a very diverse kind of background which you had. So can you please tell us about this unique journey and how these different experiences have influenced your career path?
So I am an entrepreneur, right? So the life of an entrepreneur is very easy. You want to solve problems and create impact. So when I started with why computer engineering was simple, I wanted to do engineering. That was very clear. I loved my maths, physics, chemistry. So engineering was the solution. And computers was that time, a very trending thing. Even now, technology is a need. So I thought getting into computers would give me that breakthrough in my professional life. Then management was something because I really like to lead and lead a company. So I wanted to study even the business aspects like finance, wanted to study economics, I wanted to study accounting. So that's why I did my management. And then why SAV Chemicals? My first startup was very simple. It was something where I wanted to explore a new, idea. And if you look at what industries which are very upcoming, is chemicals is such industry which will never die. We all need chemicals. So it was an opportunity that came, and an entrepreneur or anybody in life, if you don't grab that opportunity at the right time, at the right moment, you're missing out on something. And it was my luck. It was my, attitude that let me take an opportunity, fight through it, find a solution, and then go getting, attitude is what that matters. It's not about, so many diverse. If you want to, jump in the well and find a solution kind of.
I hope that a lot of people who are watching this podcast right now will get a lot of insight through your whole journey. And now let's transition into your impressive entrepreneur journey. What inspired you to start this organization, Sustain and Save?
Okay, very interesting question. So, so 2020 was when lockdown happened, right? And we were all sitting in the house. There were really limited resources. And I really felt sustainability is the need. Right now, there's a heat wave in India. There's so much why we have to take care of the Mother Earth. And sustainability was something which was very dear to my family also. So my sister and me together started this company in 2020, just realizing how limited resources are. And if we don't value water, our energy, I think this entire planet Earth is going to go the wrong way. So it was in 2016 that I got attached to studying more in sustainability. And more important, I think it's not about just sustainability related to environment. It is sustainability of businesses. If businesses do not integrate sustainability in their ecosystem, in their DNA, they're all going to fail. Right? We see startups failing because they don't sustain their cash flows. Right? So all these things are extremely important. It's about sustainability in our life. And that's why Sustain and Save was started in 2020.
This is a really great initiative, ma'am, that you are stepping out of the usual flow which entrepreneurs take, and you're looking forward to how actually the businesses or the organizations who are working can sustain and thinking about the mother nature. It is really great. So, about your another position as an associate director at Shof Group, you contribute significantly to this organization. So, how do you balance your entrepreneurial endeavors with your role at Sustain and Save and then at Shof Group?
Right. So, Shof Group is my father's company, which is into real estate, and we do commercial and residential buildings.
Okay.
So it was very interesting. I love to sell something. When being a marketing and sales person, I really enjoyed selling anything. So when I was even during in Sustain and Save, I realized that no asset can be unutilized. So when my father has properties, I would always get my team is like isko becho, or make your every asset a money minting asset. That's what life is all about. You can't have dead assets. So that's how I make the team together. We work together and find, distribute time for the right things and get things going. So that's how at Shof Group also I contribute in either finance or marketing, which mostly needs, in office time to look at the numbers or tell your sales team to, pitch to your customers.
Okay, that is really great. So, while you were starting in 2020 with Sustain and Save, how was this initiative received by people around you? We know that sustainability is a concept which is very new to people who are working or who are pursuing their entrepreneurial journey. So, when you were starting and when you got your initial few collaborations, so how was it received by the people?
Okay. I think this is a very interesting question because now it's been 4 years. So the initial start was more like, is it an NGO? People perceived us like working towards planet Earth, looking at saving energy, like use less water, use steps, don't use, diesel cars, use EV cars. But it's not about all of that. We went into a more professional approach when we got our first funding, which was in 2022, when we got different board of directors that sustainability is not that are you doing a CSR? It's not a corporate social responsibility or you're doing something for the nature or just giving back. But it is now a business proposal to integrate in your company. And that's what we want to focus, where we want to focus on all B2B companies where sustainability needs to be a 100% compulsory, part of every company just for a better future. There are a lot of things that companies need to think. There are terms called as impact investments. There will be no investor who will invest in your company if you're not, abiding by all sustainability factors, the ESG norms or anything. So it's now the approach started from more of a social initiative, but now it's a proper business proposal where people have to put in money to integrate sustainability.
Okay. So while talking about businesses integrating sustainability into their pattern, so what challenges businesses majorly face into manufacturing and production while making their activities sustainable?
Right. So this honestly is a long process right from getting the product to being dispatched to the customer. So sustainability has to be done at the entire life cycle of a product in a manufacturing sector. So we call it the life cycle assessment, right from the raw material purchase. So right from whether your vendors are, abiding by sustainability, are they tracking their carbon footprint, to the entire processes in your manufacturing. How much carbon how much carbon footprint are you generating? This needs to be done at the entire process level at the life cycle level. So a lot of companies right now are not doing it because they've not yet valued it. But there are now organizations which has made it compulsory that you have to make a life cycle assessment, or you have to do your environmental social governance, which is ESG, a mandate. So if you see the Nifty 500 or all the listed companies have to submit an ESG to the SEBI. So it's now become a mandate. So now it has become like the need of an hour to do sustainability rather than it's like theek hai karegi types,
That's really great. And we hope through this video or maybe through whatever work you're doing, your vision reaches out to more organizations and a lot of people get inspired and they actually know what the importance sustainability holds while you're pursuing whatever you're doing in your life. So while you were at MIT, how do the values and skills which you gained while you're pursuing your bachelor's in MIT continue to guide your professional endeavors till your...
Right. I think I'm going to put this into 5 mantras at MIT. Very simple. I think I would talk about discipline, where you have to, wear your uniform on a Monday or a Thursday, or be on college at 8:30 at the campus is extremely important in your work life as well. Unless you as a leader is not disciplined or responsible, you cannot, let anyone follow you, right? So the first point would be discipline. The second thing is balance in work and extracurricular. So MIT gave us a platform to also study at the same time and exposure to so many things. Let it be Robocon, which we had during our time, or sports or culture. So it's not making me a single holistic, it's giving me a holistic perspective of life rather than being, acha, let me just do my computer engineering and, get a job. But it's giving me so much more than the environment to grow as a leader, right? That's a very important thing in the environment to grow. The third point I would say is the friendships, where you connect to so many like-minded people, where you can grow and be better people. Because finally, the most important thing in business is your network. And college network, if you optimize and use it to the best, you can actually grow into something. So the kind of students that also come at MIT is very good. Good family, like network class that I had.
Yes.
So these friendships then, never know, can transform into business partners, right? And, my first startup was one of my colleagues, college friends, who was my business partner. So it is actually the friendship which got converted into a business. So there are so many things. And the fourth one, I think, is MIT talks about celebration. They know how to celebrate every occasion. I yet remember I have so many medals and trophies from MIT that I know. That's one thing we should always know, is celebrate when you achieve something. Because even that small stepping stone in your professional life is going to make you happy. Let it be. It's a culture you have to create in your environment, in your professional life, right? And MIT has taught me that, celebrate choti bhi cheez ho to, have a nice celebration. I yet remember the annual day, which VD Karat sir would actually be there. We would have this 3 days of Javan and celebration and dressing up. So it was such amazing memories at MIT. And the last but not the least, I think the fifth one is, I think, it just gave you a very good positive energy and a gratefulness. So it teaches you with the prayers, it teaches you to be humble and grateful in whatever you're doing. It's the vibe that matters, right? It's the tribe and the vibe.
Yes.
So that's the way MIT has been amazing, Shin.
Absolutely. And right now, too, over the years, MIT is trying to promote this culture as much as possible.
Right.
They're framing students in a way where they can.
Yeah, it's the culture. I think the word is culture that they promote.
They can actually be leaders, they can actually lead organizations, or they can, wherever they work into, they leave an impact.
Right.
So while right now at MIT, there are a lot of student entrepreneurs who are looking forward to start their own businesses or start their own initiatives. So what advice would you like to give to students who look up to you as they start their own entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, I call it the circus of life, which is very simple funda. C for collaboration, collaborate with people and you'll grow very big. I for initiative. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to initiate. You can't procrastinate कि मैं कल जाके ये idea पे काम करूँगा. अब भी idea आई है 3 बजे उस पे काम चालू करो. Art is reflection. We are going to make so many mistakes, trust me. And if we don't correct the mistake, I think we're not going to go ahead in life. So you have to keep reflecting, whatever mistakes you've made and keep going ahead in life. C is consistency. It is the ultimate solution to grow in life. If you're not consistent in what you're doing, you can't go ahead. I call it the 999-day cycle. If you don't do any startup for 3 years, that means you're just very inconsistent. You have to give in time, be consistent for anything for at least 3 years. And I think it's very nice how colleges have their courses minimum 3 to 4 years. Unless we don't consistently study, nothing would go into our head. The U is utilization. As I mentioned, there are so many opportunities. If we don't utilize and grab those resources at the right time, we won't succeed. So utilization of resources, it could be financial resources, it could be manpower resources. It's absolute utilization. And S is my favorite, which is socialize. meet new people, learn from them, and keep growing up. So I call this the circus of my life.
Absolutely, ma'am. And this concept of your circles of life will be helpful for a lot of people, a lot of students who are looking up to you forward and they're starting with their entrepreneur journeys. We are really thankful for you to have over here to share your insights and to share your experiences along with you. And we would really hope you to visit our campus back again, once again. And we are very thankful for you for this podcast and sharing this insight. That's it from our side. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.